Good day, beautiful souls. I am the Treasure Lord from 17 with a Twist podcast. I am here to check in to let you guys know how week 6 has been going of my 52-week challenge. I just want to start off by saying that I am extremely proud of myself because I have been sticking with this routine for the last 6 weeks. I have been making these videos to keep you guys posted about what's been going on. I haven't always been on time, but I do make my videos, so I'm patting myself on the back for that. So this past week, it was pretty good. It wasn't as mentally relaxing as the week before, but I don't ever think that everything will always consistently be the same. But last week was mentally, it was a little challenging. I did have a triggering situation that happened, and in that situation I feel like I responded a little differently. I did initially react with my emotions, but I did allow myself time to process everything that transpired and get my thoughts and my mental together before I decided to have the conversation with my son to address the situation that happened. But outside of that, last week was a pretty good week. I had 2 yoga sessions that I really did enjoy. So incorporating yoga into my lifestyle, I think it's helping with that spiritual balance, that mental balance, the strengthening, getting outside of your head and like really focusing on what your body is doing and allowing you to do. So that has been a really good experience. So I am continuing that going into week 7. My mornings consist of me, one, thanking God for allowing me to be here again on this day. I have my daily bread devotion book that I read every morning. I allow myself time to process what I've read, talk with God, spend time with Him, and then everything else I kind of just see how that day's going to go. Been doing a lot more journaling than I had been prior to. So I'm just proud that I'm continuing to be consistent with this challenge, allowing myself to get outside of my norm and actually like put myself first intentionally. And so like that is the whole goal behind self-care, is making sure that you do something for yourself intentionally. And we give so much to the people and things around us that we sometimes almost forget to look out for ourselves. So these last 6 weeks I have been intentionally, like, I really don't interact with anyone until I have spent my time with God, that I've spent my time trying to get my mental together and figure out like what is my goal for today when it comes to my mental. How do I want to show up in different situations? Taking time out to incorporate some physical activity, whether it's yoga, doing yoga sessions at the yoga studio, if it's pulling out my yoga poses and spending 40 minutes, because it takes about 40 minutes for me to like really go through all the poses and incorporating those deep breaths, inhale, exhales, with my mindfulness meditation music playing in the background. Emotionally just reflecting on maybe how I showed up the day before, versus how I want to show up today, because you never know like what situations you're going to find yourself in. But I feel like for me, if I overthink, because I'm an overthinker, if I overthink the what ifs hypothetically, that I can mentally train myself on how I want to respond emotionally, because I've realized with therapy and just reflecting on how I do show up, like I really do allow my emotions to get the best of me. So I am a lot more aware of that today. And so I want to show up differently, because you're always, like, not always, but you're going to have situations that's going to trigger you. But that's why, if you don't know how to control it, you seek professional help. You find reading material. You might even learn from the people that's around you, like what do they do to help cope during those situations. So just intentionally trying to just show up differently and not be who I was. It was explaining to my son, like, for the last 2 years, I have intentionally been working on trying to be a better person. Now, do I always show up how I should show up? No, I'm human. And the fact is that I can now acknowledge that and acknowledge my wrongdoings, acknowledge my mistakes, and apologize for those mistakes. And in turns, the next time something like that happened or a similar situation happened, that I can say, you know what, I'm not going to show up like that. I'm going to show up differently. So that was last week. Overall, it was still a good week. I know I mentioned, like, my sleep has been off. For the last week or so, I have been intentionally, I have an alarm in my phone at 9:30 to wind down, meaning that I should have been ate dinner, to go ahead and start getting my bath in. I have this sleepy time tea that I start brewing around that time. So the goal is to be in bed, hopefully a little sleepy by 11. I do feel like there is progress with that. I haven't been going to sleep as late 4 in the morning as I had in the past, and I haven't been waking up 2-3 hours after I went to sleep. So I do feel like I am getting more rest. So I'm just continuing to be consistent with my wind down routine. So I've gotten better with that. I'm still trying to incorporate more water. That's something that I don't really do a lot of, but I feel like I consume a lot more water now than I probably had in the last 6 months, but I still don't feel like it's enough. So just being more consistent with my water, especially in this Florida heat. Like, it's been like extremely hot the last 2 weeks, so just trying to stay dehydrated, not dehydrated, but trying to stay hydrated as I do my afternoon walks or my bike rides. Like, I definitely have to stay hydrated so that I don't pass out here. But that's just a little bit of what last week looked like, far as from a mental standpoint. As I go into this new week, just try to show up and do things better than I did the last week. That's all we really can do, is try to do better. And in those moments that we don't do better, acknowledge it, accept it, give yourself grace, and just try to do better the next time. So that is my check-in for this week. I look forward to sharing with you guys next week what the rest of this week look like. I'm a little bit, about 2 days behind, so about time next week. Well, I'm in this week now, but by the time y'all see the video, it will be into next week. But again, I am Chantrell, Trail the Lord from Southern Tea with a Twist podcast. If you haven't already, check out episode 2, Doula What? Manifest Your Birthing Plan. I have this mommy edition for the podcast that will be releasing in the next couple months, so it was just perfect to introduce the doula segment as I introduce you guys to some new moms, and they share their new mommy journey. The link will be posted under this video. Until next time, beautiful souls, enjoy your day, be blessed, and do something nice for yourself and do something nice for others. Until next time.